You know, it's funny. I've downloaded a couple episodes because you saw the theme song thing. I don't understand, but I'm because I've done that because I'm going to watch up to 479 and then I'm going to watch the movie. I went ahead and queued up 479 the same time I queued up this one. Last episode, no cold open, which means I can skip the theme song. This episode, cold open, which means I can't. Next episode, no cold open, which means I can. So, interesting structure. I wonder, like, when you're in the room, when you decide what you're doing. It probably has to do with the time that the animation came in. Like, you know, the full episode, here's the runtime. And if you need, I think it's a situation where, like, if you need a few extra seconds, you do it one way, and if you don't need a few extra seconds, you need to waste a little bit more time, you do it the other way. I don't know. Nobody cares. I care because I'm a showrunner. I'm I'm a producer, and this is what producers do. They literally sit down and they'll talk for hours about just this. Okay, we're 17 seconds short. If we put in a cold open, we can move this much material over here, and it actually takes up to 17 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it'll be duplicated. Maybe the cold open is part of the scene that's going to come next. You know, the first 17 seconds. You know, so they had to do that. Right? I don't know. I'm obsessed with this kind of stuff because you have to care and you have to be into it to be this kind of a producer. There's different kinds of producers. Probably not the job for you if you don't care about shit like this. All right, let's go and get into it. We're going on one. Three, two, one. I can't get over you. Or what was it? I can't quit you. I just can't quit you. You're both dumbasses. Yeah, I mean we kind of covered this last time. Literally covered this last time. He starts talking about Rennie crap. Okay, this is different. All right. They're so angry. It's not that serious. I remember that. I actually remember that incident. Come spirit walk with me. That's how I'm going to turn you around. I don't see it ending that way. I can see one of them dying. The only way this works, I think, is if Naruto dies and in so doing proves to Sasuke that friendship means everything, and you know that's what turns Sasuke around, and he becomes a better person. I can see that happening, but they haven't had any hint whatsoever of him having a kid. So how would that work, right? Like the only thing I can imagine is his chakra could go into a woman, kind of like the Force did, you know. And it could be a virgin birth situation, but that seems like a lot of trouble. I think more likely he survives, right? They're just I haven't seen any after we've been fighting for 100 episodes, man. He hasn't taken the time off to go behind a rock somewhere and have sex with somebody. He's not even really old. I figured to be older too. I figured to be a time jump somewhere in this, right? This is not played out the way I thought it would. So it'd be a tragedy. People would not love the show the way they love it if Naruto dies. You know, it's just because he didn't even get a chance to live. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they're both going to live. I would think because that's kind of the only way this could work. Because we're talking about the themes, right? If we're just doing plot and there are no themes and nothing matters and it's just a bunch of crap, right? Like if it's the Baywatch of anime, then yeah, anything could happen. Either one of them could die, they both could die, whatever. But we're talking about if they're following the themes of the series. I like how they're kind of walking through all their memories. That's really cool. I love what they're doing here. You're both idiots, in other words. They've been kind of hinting at this for a couple episodes now. Now we're really doing it. Huh. You should have been friends, but you ostracized each other too. Whatever keeps you up at night. Let me kick your ass. I think my biggest problem with their relationship, me, a personal level, I can't befriend somebody who's been an asshole to me. People are mean, say mean things. I'll never trust somebody who says mean things to me, ever. So I can't be friends with them. So I can't relate when we have these stories where that happens. We also see this in My Hero Academia, right? Can't relate to. I could never be friends with Sasuke if I was Naruto. I could never be friends with Baku if I was Midoriya. Just can't do it, man. Like it's just not in me because of my childhood. Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, man. So they're gonna have their cake and eat it too. They're both gonna die, but they're not really gonna die. No, I'm still worried. This is fantastic, man. Look, you wanted this, man. Don't be scared now. Don't regret your shit now. Lean into it. Yep. They're running out of headspace up there. Never gonna happen, kid. You pissed him off when you said that. Not as soon as you might think. Maybe though. If they spirit walk for a while and he redeems himself within this matrix, so slow your roll. I would have. That's for goddamn sure. Sorry, I'm not talking much. It's like this feels crucial to me. So, but what I was saying was, if he dies in the dream world after they spirit walk for a couple episodes, you would redeem him. I could see that happening, and it's not Naruto's fault that he died. It was, he didn't kill him. Maybe he'd even choose death. I could see that happening too. That's my question I've had the whole series. That's my question too. Like, what are you getting out of this friendship? I don't either. He admires him. That's what it is. He admires. That's what it is. The foundation of friendship is he admires. There has to be a foundation. You think the person's funny. It's the way you feel when you're around them, or the two of you like compliment each other, like personality wise. You have to get something out of friendship. I'm not saying it's transactional. I'm saying like the friend has to bring something to the table that you need for there to be a foundation for a friendship. If you don't understand a person, you don't like their sense of humor, and you don't get their sense of humor, then there's no friendship there, right? Think about your friends. Every one of them is bringing something to the table. I've never really understand what Sasuke brings to the table for Naruto. What is it? I think it's that he admires him. He sees himself in him, right? He wants to be there for him because nobody was there for him, right? Naruto wants to be there for Sasuke because nobody was there for Naruto. But the mortal sin of this series is we didn't get enough time with them forming their friendship on missions before shit jumped off. 700 episodes, and they couldn't give us 10, 15 episodes of just random missions. Couple episodes per mission, them hanging out, laughing, joking with each other. They never felt like friends to me because we didn't get the time. They didn't put in the work. That's the fatal flaw of the series, in my opinion. That's what keeps it from being a 10.0 instead of what it is, which I believe is a 9.5. We'll see how they stick the landing, but that's where I'm at right now. We never did find out what happens to Orochimaru. I assume that's coming up. Right. Well, both things can be true. Especially today. Finish him. Yep, that's what happened. He's grown from that because that's not how that works. Well, it's easy to say that, but he's shown it with his actions. Man, people are getting wrecked. It's been a hell of a run, man. What a great series. That's why we picked you up like a kitten. Yeah, yeah, you keep saying that. I want to become the best bureaucrat in the world. Is this every time he said this in a series, just back to back? You saved the other friends, though. That's what you're not seeing. It's been a hell of a run, man. Well, yeah, he learned that along the way. He was a little kid when he thought the other way. Really like that. The visual storytelling has been phenomenal. His music is reminiscent of graduation music. They're kind of graduating into adulthood, right? I'm sure that's intentional. Yeah, that's right. All of us. Every single one of us. Even those people I've never seen before in my life. I mean, I recognize most of them. We even get the three little kids, the next generation. And Asama's baby mama with the baby. Apparently, he got born at some point. Man, y'all dead. Don't be here. Happy graduation. Here's your diploma. You're changing his heart. Just as I suspect. I mean, there's no. That's the only way it was going to end. Come on. Y'all dead as hell. Does it look like heaven? So the whole thing was stupid. You admit it. What a dumbass. Don't laugh. You're gonna puncture your lungs with your broken ribs. That's right, bitch. Right? Shut up. There we go. Which is the plan all along, I suspect. I'm not going to be your minion. Damn. Oh, you made him cry. What are they doing with the water drops, man? They're doing something with that, and I'm not sure I like it. Feels like it's foreshadowing. The worst kind of foreshadowing. Oh, shit. Guess they've been very careful with their shot selection, so we didn't notice they've lost arms. Jesus Christ. All feels kind of pointless now with you asses dead, don't it? I don't know, man. I don't believe they're both dead. I'm not even sure I believe one of them's dead. There's apparently some plot relevant in these closing credits. We'll see. I mean, it just seems like the same shit we've been seeing. Unless they're missing arms. It is kind of interesting that, like, it would be the two arms that would be touching each other are the ones they lost, right? I kind of like that. But the blood kind of is them touching each other. Oh, shit. And what they're laying on is nicely played. Nicely played. The unison sign. You dead as hell. Yeah. Hey, don't tell me before you tell me. It, I don't know how plot relevant that was, but it is interesting. Like, I guess they didn't change the past, of course, but what they're saying is we already knew the smiling instead of glaring obviously means they bridged the gap finally. Like it almost like retroactively throughout their backwards, but it kind of we already knew that they already reconciled during the episode, right? But it is kind of interesting because it set me on a path of thinking. You talk about you can't change the past, but you can change the past. you change how you think about the past. You change how you feel about the past. This never occurred to me before. This occurred to me just now. Say you had a teacher who was an asshole to you, and you've been bitter about that for years. And then you go to their funeral, and a bunch of people are talking about how the teacher treated them that way, and it made them realize they were special. The teacher only treated a couple people that way every year. The ones the teacher saw with the most potential, etc. You get it. And that makes you realize that the teacher thought you were special and was pushing you to be the tip top of your potential, which happened. You became very good in your industry. And you never realized the teacher was the one who helped you get there. So now, when you think back at your interactions with the teacher, you're no longer bitter. You're actually elated and you're happy and you're satisfied. The past hasn't changed. Your perception of the past changed. How you feel about what happened in the past changed. So, in essence, you did change the past. If you think differently about something, you're changing the past. In a way, right? From a certain point of view. That's kind of what I think the show's doing here. Because, they didn't go back in time and change the way they looked at each other. They changed the way they thought about their interactions throughout their whole childhood, right? I'm not sure if that's what the show's doing, but that's what I got out of it. It feels like you can't change the past, but you can. It's like with anything else in life. It's how you look at it, man. Like, I've always felt this way. Some people, they get a setback, personally or professionally, and they get so angry and they lash out and they slam their hand against the wall. And while they're being so histrionic and, melodramatic and everything, I'm over here with my setback just trying to think of a solution. Okay, how do we solve this? I can cry about it later. Right now we need to solve the problem, right? I'm using my energy in a productive way. So it's how you look at it. It's the same thing. You can either just be really sad that it happened or really angry that it happened and feel like the world's got it against you, or you just work the problem, which you eventually have to do even if you are hysterical about it. You get upset, lash out. You still have to eventually work the problem, and so that's why getting all emotional about shit just doesn't. It's not productive. It's not profitable. So for me, I'm always reframing things in my mind. I'm like, okay, well, I had this setback, but here's what I can get out of it. Here's how I can solve it. And once it's solved, then there's nothing to be emotional about anyway, right? So it's almost like a mind game. It's like, I'll be emotional about this later after I fix the problem. Once you fix the problem, there's nothing to be emotional about anymore. So then you tricked yourself. Congratulations, you played yourself. You never got to the part where you're emotional about it, which is a waste of time and energy. And probably shortens your lifespan a little bit. Like every time you get really stressed out or upset, you probably shorten your lifespan. You tricked yourself out of that because you just focused on the problem, which is the real issue anyway, right? So I never thought, that's why I've been approached, but I never thought about that as far as the past and how we look at it and how we think about it. So this is a deep show if you want it to be, man. You can just be surface level, let me throw some magic at you. Or you can look at the deeper themes of it. And either way, it's enjoyable,